Have you ever told yourself, nitafanya hii kitu kesho? Kesho, I'll do it tomorrow, but never comes. Yes, we've all done that one time or the other. And maybe just to ask you, maybe have you? What is it that you're postponing? What is it that you're not doing? We call that procrastination. And we ask ourselves, what is this procrastination? And maybe just to say that procrastination is not about laziness. It is the act of postponing tasks despite knowing the consequences, and it's often linked with fear, stress, being overwhelmed, or even sometimes emotional discomfort. Let me give you an example. Maybe you're a student. You have an exam that is upcoming, but you find yourself not studying. We call even ourselves as Kenyans our last minute people. It's time to do our returns, our KRA returns. But we find when they give us a deadline, that's when we are all rushing to the websites. Even sometimes we find the website crashing. As entrepreneurs, yeah, sometimes we are even unable, even for example, to do our registration, yeah, to register our business. So maybe we can debunk a bit on procrastination. What procrastination is not. As we had said, procrastination is not laziness. Because laziness is when you do not feel or you do not even want to do whatever you're supposed to do. But procrastination actually means that you're feeling stuck. Yeah. The other thing, maybe that is not procrastination, is I work best under pressure. And yes, you might finish the job. But what about the quality? What about the increased pressure that you've put on yourself? The other myth that is, it's just time, I'm poor with time management. The truth is that procrastination is an emotional management, not time management. It is driven by the fear. For some, they want perfectionism. For some, it's lack of motivation. It's not just about time. We can dive in on why we procrastinate. And as we had mentioned earlier, some of the things that make us procrastinate is fear. Fear and perfectionism. We are the fear of failing. You're there, you want to start your podcast, but you're fearful. How will people take it? Is it good enough? Is my content good enough? And we end up not starting. Sometimes also, the other reason could be instant gratification and the need to want the pleasure immediately. So we call it the pleasure principle. Maybe we'll talk about it in our future podcasts. Sometimes the brain chooses short-term pleasures over long-term benefits. And here, what is the solution? Maybe just in passing, is to set mini rewards, especially after completing a task. The other reason why we procrastinate, I would say, is some vague goals. How have you set our goals? Is it too big? Is it too small? That's the biggest question. Sometimes we are not really motivated to run through with our goals because when they're too big a goal, we feel that we need to over prepare. When it's too low, we beat ourselves and sometimes we even self sabotage ourselves. Another reason why we procrastinate is anxiety, that even sometimes brings negative emotions. We feel so stressed before we even start doing something. For example, those sanctuary messages that we get, yeah, debt, of course, can be very stressing. And yes, we might decide to just block that. And definitely, we will not start doing anything. Yeah. The other reason could also be the impulse control or even the adrenaline rush. For some people, they work best under pressure, you'll hear them say, and they like the last minute rush. But how about the quality? As I asked earlier, you are a YouTuber, you have your channel, keep saying, I'll add today's content or even this month's content. Why haven't you uploaded it? One of the ways of stopping procrastination, of course, is to identify your triggers. You ask yourself, why am I avoiding this? For example, why am I scared? Why am I overwhelmed? Why am I lacking the motivation? The other thing is to break it down into small steps. There's a rule that we say it's a 2-minute rule where tasks need to be done immediately. For example, instead of start a business, maybe you can research on 3 suppliers who are doing the same business that you'd want to do. It will drive you to that direction. It will motivate you because learning something new actually helps you to want to do more. The other thing that we can do, of course, is to reframe our mindset. Instead of telling yourself, I have to, this I have to, sometimes feels like an instruction. We can choose to say, I choose to do this. It's your will to do it. Instead of applying for a job, instead of saying, I have to apply for the job, you can say, I choose to send my application today. And please do it. Yeah. The other thing, of course, that can help us to overcome procrastination is to find accountability partners. Maybe the last, not the last, but just another way of avoiding procrastination is the 5-second rule. And this is where we tell ourselves, we count from 5 backwards: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we jump off. It's in the morning, you're snoozing that alarm every time it wakes you up. Just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and jump out of that bed. Keep doing this. These habits, once you continue doing it often, there's even the habit rule where if you do something consistently for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And then when you do something for 90 days continuously, it becomes a lifestyle. It's the 21 90 rule. Maybe we could try it as well. Maybe at this point, we can look at some of the practical ways that we can avoid or we can beat procrastination. And of course, one of them is giving priority to the things that give us more results. For example, you're a businessman. Instead of concentrating so much on designing the logo and the brand name, which is very important, yes, why not concentrate on actual sales? Because for sure, once you make a sale, it will really motivate you to want to make more sales. The other thing, of course, work is good. But guess what? Not all work without a break is good for you. Taking breaks can also help you to re-energize you and even want to do even more once you come out of that break. We encourage you to do that. Also, setting artificial deadlines. This is a deadline you've been told by end of the month you need to submit your work as a student. Instead of waiting till end of the month to submit, set your own deadline. Tell yourself, by 25th, I need to have submitted my work latest. And trust me, it will work. The other way is to reward yourself. We forget that we are the main product. We need to celebrate our wins. We need to reward ourselves when we are able to achieve a task. That helps us to even want to achieve the next. And because we know there's a reward at the end of it all. Another thing, of course, is to change our environment. This could be even maybe you're more productive. Instead of sitting in the office, you're more productive doing it elsewhere. Sitting in that cafe, yeah, going for a walk, you know, you're recording your podcast. Not all your podcasts need to be in that space. You can do it outdoor, you can do it elsewhere. And that change of environment might help you to even create more content. Maybe in conclusion to this, um, in conclusion to our procrastination podcast, we want to tell you that yes, we need a mind shift. Procrastination is not a personality trait, it's just a habit that for sure we can change. Let's start with one action at a time. Let's start today. The hardest part is to start. Once you begin, of course, the momentum starts building up. If you found this episode helpful, we encourage you to subscribe, to share with a friend who needs to hear this. But most importantly, we'd love to hear from you. Is there anything that you're procrastinating? What are some of the triggers? What are some of the challenges that you're facing in terms of uh, not doing what you need to do? And also tell us, you are a procrastinator, but things have suddenly changed. What are some of the things that you're doing? Help a brother, help a sister, and let us all help one another to move to the next stage. No more excuses. Let's do this. Thank you.